Salakia timed out. But yeah, this is a message to you so-called blacks, Hispanics and Native Americans, especially you so-called black men, okay? But, you know, we all make up the 12 tribes of Israel, the nation of Israel, okay? That's our biblical nationality according to the scriptures, all right? But we need to be aware of what's really going on and how the devil is out to get us, all right? And if you're wise, you're going to take heed, right? You know, and this is really for the elect anyways, the elect of our nation. So you're going to take heed to not be a victim of the situation, okay? So I'm going to play this video.
Well, a federal lawsuit targets the city of Laverne in the wake of a police department sex scandal. Megan Hall was the only female among the 5 officers fired and then became the target of nationwide ridicule.
Tonight, Hall's lawyer tells News Channel 5's Nick Barris what happened was inexcusable.
And now they're suing over what they call a hostile, sexually charged work environment that victimized a rookie officer.
Megan Hall.
See, that's what you know, the lawyer is gonna say, because she lost her job and she wants to basically get her job back. So they're gonna have to paint a narrative, and that's how you show you that this is how the devil works, man. Because it's not about what is the truth, is what they can make the truth, right? If it's believable enough, right, and you get the jury and all of those people to believe the story that your lawyer had come up with, and you know, that's all they need, right? Whereas Yahweh, Bashem, Yahushai, and the angels, they see everything, man. So they know who's lying and who's doing wrong. So ultimately, that's gonna be the judge, man. At the end of it, when it's all said and done. So all of the past transgressions, all your transgressions, all right, it's gonna be avenged. Or all transgressions that were against you, basically, is gonna be avenged. Even though, you know, wickedness happens to people that are doing wicked. So I'm not saying these guys are innocent. You know, they're probably doing wickedness in their life, did wickedness in their past life. You know, we all fall short, you know. But yeah, you know, at the end of the day, the Most High is bringing judgment. But also, it's twofold, man. The Most High still doesn't like these things, all right?
Was one of 5 officers, along with the Laverne police chief, fired last month for allegations of sexual misconduct on the job. But it was Hall, the only female and just into her 2nd year on the force, who became the face of the sexual scandal.
These predators, starting from day 1, worked to break down her psychological barriers and convince her to engage in sexual activity that she didn't want to.
But, you know, another thing is, though, this stuff happens all the time in the military, but they won't go and bring that out, okay? They won't go and bring these things out, all right? And I'm not to say whatever these guys did do it, but we all know at the end of the day, this girl was down with it, man. It's just that she got caught, and now she, you know, because if she never got caught, right, there wouldn't be no story. There wouldn't be no, you know what I mean? She would continue doing it. You know, her husband wouldn't have known, because apparently she was married or she had a boyfriend, right? She would have continued doing her wickedness or whatever, right? But it's because she got caught and exposed. So now she's taking the time out to basically, you know, clean up her image and make it seem like she's the victim or whatever.
Wesley Clark, flanked by his client Hall, talked about the federal lawsuit they've filed naming the city of Laverne, former Sergeant Lewis Powell, former Sergeant Henry Ty McGowan, and former Police Chief Burrell Chip Davis. The lawsuit alleges the supervisors, quote, groomed Hall for sexual exploitation.
Megan wasn't looked at like a rookie cop to be trained and promoted. She was looked at as a piece of meat to be sexualized and exploited.
The lawsuit stems from a police department scandal involving sexual misconduct both on and away from the job involving officers. There are no criminal charges. There are going to be those who say these are consenting adults and she's trying to place the blame elsewhere.
Well, yeah, it's really easy to think that whenever you don't understand the full story.
Clark says Hall said no on several occasions, but her supervisors kept pushing until she gave in. Racked by depression to the point of considering suicide, the lawsuit says when Hall tried to end the sexual conduct, threats were made against her.
That should be disgusting and outrageous to everyone who reads this case and understands the truth of what happened here.
The city of La Verne declined to comment on the pending litigation. Nick Barris, News Channel 5.
Thanks, Nick. By the way, you saw Megan Hall sitting there with her attorney while he spoke, but she talked as well about the environment on the job at the La Verne PD.
He constantly made sexual comments towards me, making unwanted physical contact towards me.
Right, and she's reading off a script or whatever that she had wrote or that lawyer had wrote, but at the same time, it's like, who's telling the truth and who's lying, right? And, you know, obviously, nobody's saying go out and do these things, right? First and foremost, if you're a man on the job and you have a job to do, you shouldn't be, that's not wise to try and, like, deal with the woman at the workplace, man. The workplace is supposed to be a professional setting, first and foremost, so that's what needs to be said. Salakia, first and foremost, so there's no, I am not, you know, condoning these acts, right? But at the same time, what's the truth and what's the lie, right? That's the point I'm trying to make. And we've seen this far too many times with Jake getting hemmed up with a white woman, right? And this is gonna go tie in back to my point that we're back in Egypt again. I'm gonna get another title of a video also. Where is it? All right, and it had to do with two young Jakes as well. And they got hemmed up in the system. Salakia. I'm gonna find it. Hold on. Excuse me. Almost there. Maybe I went too far. Salakia. Yeah, this is it right here.
What's going on, guys? Zeta Black here. Shout out to everyone that's tuning in. We have a...
I'm not gonna, I just wanted to get the title. It says 2 ex-college football players vindicated after they're found not guilty of assaulting a 19-year-old girl. I'm not too sure if it was a white woman or whatever other race woman, but all these women in this world are Egyptians, and they follow after the Egyptian way. If you get what I'm trying to say, man. We're just spiritually back in Egypt again. You know? And if she is a so-called white woman, even more so to my point, right? But they ended up getting, the Most High had it to where they ended up getting not guilty, all right? And they were able to beat that case, basically. But like I said, this is just a message, a warning to you so-called you men out there to use wisdom, right? So I'm gonna just read this scripture in Genesis 39, and I'm gonna start at Start at 5, Genesis 39:5. And it came to pass from the time that he had made him overseer. Or he's talking about Salakia. I'll start at 4. Genesis 39:4, get the full understanding. And Joseph found grace in his sight. He served him. He made him overseer over his house and all that he had put into his hand. And this is talking about Pharaoh. Pharaoh did all that for Joseph. And it came to pass from the time he had made him over. Salakia.